Dim the lights and prepare for a darkness to descend. On the glossy surface, gaming offers harmless entertainment and diversion from the rigors of daily life. But peer closer into the pixelated void, and you'll find the gnarled roots of human depravity burrowed deep. This is the sinister underworld of gaming horror stories where virtual worlds collide with real-life terror. In the security of our homes, we game to unwind, compete, and even connect. But what happens when malevolence intrudes on play? When does the haunted derive sustenance from the innocent? I've dredged 3 true stories from the cyber swamp that demonstrate how a joystick in the wrong hands becomes a weapon, how harmlessly logging on can open the door for wickedness to slip in. The tales you're about to hear are far from make-believe. They're grim snapshots of gamers who invited evil through their screens. 3 cautionary accounts of players who wished they'd never pressed start. Are you ready to enter the dark side of gaming? The nightmare is about to begin. The gamer stalker. Joey was a shy yet sociable 8th grader who battled pubescent awkwardness. Though popular at school, when it came to talking to girls, his tongue tied itself into nervous knots. So Joey lost himself in the fantasy lands of his favorite computer RPGs, especially the online multiplayer game Gonu. There he discovered a talent for befriending female players. Gonu became a safe sandbox where he could practice the gentlemanly charms his father preached, and Joey relished the attention and affirmation he received from these ethereal cyber maidens. One avatar named Medusa took a particular liking to Joey, singling him out with flirtatious emotes and showering him in-game with gifts of experience points. Medusa revealed herself to be a 15-year-old girl named Teresa, who lived an hour away. Joey and Teresa bonded while hunting monsters, their conversations straying from combat tactics to more personal matters. Soon they were messaging outside Gonu using a texting app. Teresa requested a selfie, which Joey eagerly provided, fishing for similar validation. Her returned photo depicted a pretty brunette with sparkling eyes who looked just a touch too old for 15. Thrilled by her attention, Joey dismissed his doubts. Their digital flirtation escalated to tentative talk of meeting IRL. When Joey's parents left town for a long weekend, he saw his chance. Pulse pounding, he gave Teresa his address and arranged a clandestine meetup while his older brother was supposedly out. The hours crawled by until the fateful notification, "She's here." Joey crept to the front door, heart hammering. He cracked it open and squinted into the unlit street. An empty milk-grey void greeted him. Perplexed, he checked his phone and then called softly into the vacant night. No answer. Teresa messaged she had the wrong house but would be there soon. Joey waited anxiously on the couch, reviewing their texts and selfies. His nerves lit up when the doorbell finally rang. Peering through the eye-hole, Joey saw only night. "Teresa," he called. A hand flashed in front of the lens. Joey repeated the name. His stomach plunged through the floor as a male voice uttered, "Hey Joey, it's Medusa. Can we talk?" Joey staggered back in horror and shock as his gamer girlfriend's true identity leered through the portal. This was no teen beauty, but a wrinkled, bald predator, his grin dripping deception. "I just want to play too," the man rasped. As the door shook under blows, Joey fled in panic to his older brother's room. Cowering inside the adjacent closet, praying his sibling would arrive soon, Joey retrieved his phone to plead for help. But to his dread, the device sputtered dead, betraying him to the encroaching evil. All he could do was listen helplessly as heavy footfalls creaked up the steps toward his hiding spot. A sadistic leer twisted the stalker's lips as he began ascending the steps toward the petrified boy sealed in the spare closet. Joey trembled uncontrollably, his brother's promised salvation seeming lifetimes away. The maniac's heavy tread drew nearer, any moment to wrench open the door and unleash unimaginable torment. Just then the front door crashed open and voices shouted through the house. Before Joey could cry out, meaty blows and howls of rage resounded downstairs, as his burly brother had arrived with friends to forcibly eject the home invader. So Joey's brother rescues him from the stalker, leading to the stranger being arrested. The violent sore loser. Our next tale highlights how raging gaming egos can ignite real-world vengeance. Luke was a 16-year-old from Phoenix praised by friends for his calm and skill in handling a controller. Apex Legends became his obsession that sweltering summer break. Each day he'd hone his craft for hours in hyper-realistic shootouts, striving to top the leaderboards. Despite Luke's swelling expertise, he resisted the trash talk temptation. Even demolishing noobs elicited only a gracious GG before jumping into the next match. One quiet Friday night home alone, Lukey prepared to squeeze in a few late-night games before meeting buddies. The chance to relax and rank up sounded perfect after a hellish week of final exams. 2 hours into the session, Luke dominated an intense showdown against a random named Darkilax. Buzzing from the hard-fought victory, he paid the vanquished player no special mind. Just another solid match in the books on his way to the top. But across town, a menacing stranger seethed in front of his console, utterly humiliated at suffering defeat by some punk kid. This humiliation could not stand. He swore revenge against that impudent whelp for daring to best him. As dusk crept over the sleepy neighborhood, a deafening smash exploded outside Luke's window. Whipping around, Luke gaped speechless at the sight of a hooded psycho bashing the glass with a bat, frothing at the mouth. Luke's heart seized as those familiar furious eyes burned through the fractures. Darkilax himself had come seeking vengeance. The enraged gamer had tracked Luke's address and now threatened torturous retribution for wounding his gaming pride earlier. As Ben cradled the phone urging police to hurry, the madman battered his way inside, screeching promises to avenge his embarrassment in blood. In the end, authorities arrived just in time to rescue Luke from the vengeful intruder's twisted designs. Though still shaken from the traumatic invasion, Luke's passion for gaming never wavered. But he did gain sobering insight into how deeply bruised egos can drive the unstable over the brink. The possessed gamer. Now let's move on to our final story. Damien was a straight-A student and polite, mild-mannered teen who avoided trouble. His parents noted how the once sociable boy had become withdrawn over the past year, secluding himself in his room for longer stretches, shirking chores, and neglecting homework to the detriment of his grades. They attributed the changes to normal moodiness. But the true culprit was Damien's recent addiction to the fantasy MMORPG realm of core. He'd immersed himself in the enveloping game universe night and day, insomnia leaving him perpetually bleary-eyed and snappish. In core, Damien role-played the dashing spell sword Pyrion. Leading a guild of warriors, he derived a sense of confidence and control absent from his real life. The more his actual existence spiraled into dysfunction, the tighter Pyrion's vivid realm ensnared Damien's addled mind. His concerned parents once discovered odd cuts lining Damien's arms one morning. When confronted, Damien shrugged it off as a stupid experiment gone wrong. But the gashes closely matched Pyrion's fearsome blade gauntlets. Soon, Damien's delusional episodes escalated dangerously. He became a cring-worthy town fixture as spotted prowling shops and parks outfitted in wizard cloaks and glinting armor. Oblivious to alarmed stares, he would challenge random passers-by to unhindered sword duels. At home, his eccentricities evoked unease. The once mild-mannered boy slammed down cutlery, banging fists and bellowing, "Wench, bring me ale!" The breaking point came on Damien's 17th birthday, when police fished him from a river, ranting about flying griffins. Authorities pieced together the deranged teen had hurled his sister Cassidy off a bridge, believing her an enemy enchantress. Fortunately, Cassidy survived the shocking 20-foot plunge. Shattered, Damien's parents committed their son under an emergency psychiatric hold. Doctors concluded he suffered an acute psychotic break, triggered by untreated gaming addiction and underlying bipolar disorder. Now undergoing intensive treatment, specialists remain uncertain if Damien can fully resurface from the glittering abyss ensnaring his mind. These nightmarish tales highlight the bone-chilling reality of immersive games, enabling impressionable players to utterly lose themselves. Fantasy realms can peel back the veil of reality, tearing catastrophically, so tread carefully through pixelated realms. Innocuous avatars conceal twisted intentions. No extra lives exist should you lose your grip. Damien discovered the hardest truth, that virtual worlds promise no refuge from the cruelty of this one. So next time you log on, recall the dark fates of Joey, Luke, and Damien. Interact cautiously, guard your identity, and separate fiction from life. Game overs hold graver meaning beyond pixels. Monsters wear familiar faces beyond the screen, and virtual worlds never promise refuge from the cruelty of this one. Tread carefully through digital realms, for true terror lurks in the periphery. Innocuous personas conceal twisted intentions. You never know who controls the master console. In the end, these gamers discovered the hardest truth. No extra lives exist should you lose yourself, sweet dreams. And beware of the pixelated abyss staring back. Now, I hope you liked the video. If yes, then do press the like button and also subscribe for more scary tales.